So for breakfast, I made some chia seed pudding using this orange and beet juice I got from Natalie's Juice. When I don't make my own or when I'm traveling, that is the juice I like to go with because it's very minimal ingredients. And I didn't measure it or anything. I just poured in a few tablespoons of chia seeds and let that soak overnight, and it became like a gel-like consistency or chia pudding. So I'm just topping this with some fresh strawberries and fresh blueberries. Of course, you can make chia seed pudding whatever you like, but I like to use different liquid bases for my chia seed pudding because it just adds an additional flavor. Also adding in some hemp seeds for some added protein and a little bit of crunch. Now, I'm making a pretty heavy cooked meal for dinner tonight. So, the rest of the day, I kind of wanted to do something light and I needed to juice anyway. So, I decided to make a few juices. So, this one here is very simple and easy to make. It's just cucumbers, celery, and some ginger. I absolutely love fresh ginger. Yes, I did use the whole hunk of ginger that you saw there on the screen, but I love ginger and it's so good for you, so good for your digestion, and this juice was very hydrating. Oh, I forgot to add, I did add some apples to this. So this is actually apples, celery, cucumber, and ginger. So the next juice is pineapple, some more ginger, and carrots. These are actually some carrots that I had left over and I wanted to use those before they went bad. So I thought, why not juice them? Now, for dinner, I decided to make some red beans and rice. Now, I have not had beans in probably months at this point. Lentils, yes, occasionally, but beans, I have not made them in a while. But I had a taste for some red beans, so I decided to make some. This is a very simple and very filling dinner. Growing up, my grandmother used to always have like some cooked red beans on the stove, and it was very basic, but it was so delicious and so filling. So this brought me back there, and I just used some yellow onions, green peppers, celery, and chopped up some garlic as well. Again, just the basics here. And I'm going to allow those to saute on the stove with a little bit of sea salt and black pepper. Now, my grandmother used to use smoked turkey legs to add some additional flavor and a little bit of the meat texture in there. Of course, I won't be using that, but I am going to be using some jackfruit to add a little bit of that kind of meaty texture and some additional flavor. So I'm adding the jackfruit in with the garlic and just mixing that all up. And I let my red beans soak overnight and then just rinse them well in some cool water. I am using some vegetable stock that I made. You can use whatever you like. And I'm adding those red beans into the pot. I'm going to allow that to boil. And before I do that, I'm just adding in some additional seasonings. Now, I used a mixture of garlic powder, onion powder, some oregano, some paprika, some sweet paprika, and just allow that to cook down and get nice and tender. So I let this sit on the stove probably for about 2 hours. And after the 2 hours, my beans are nice and tender. The sauce is starting to thicken up, but just to get it to thicken up a little bit, I do want to mash some of the beans, not all of them. We don't want to make a puree, but I just want to kind of mash them. This will help to thicken up the sauce and get it more like a nice, delicious gravy flavor to it. And I'm allowing that to simmer for about another 30 minutes. And instead of rice, I really don't eat rice. I made some cooked buckwheat to go with my red beans. And I garnish mine with some fresh parsley. This turned out absolutely delicious. It was very, very filling. And if you want to try this, let me know how you liked it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this What I Eat in a Day video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and let me know which one was your favorite. And I will see you on the next video, of course. Later.